him to a player like Lucid, like you're saying. Lucid, when I think of Lucid, I think of consistently a superstar. Every time I've watched Lucid's point of view in the past 3 years, I have said this is some damn good Halo. He does not miss, he makes great decisions, and he is known for having MVP-like stats. I think throughout this year, we have seen the best player at each event win the event. Legend was my guy in the first event. The second event, I'd say Renegade took over. This third event, Lucid has the prime stats to show you that he may be considered once again the best player in the world by taking a championship for Optic. This is a massive step on that road.
It certainly is indeed, and we're looking at the road of this series right now. And Gaskin, what is coming to mind when you're staring upon this?
So there's a lot to dissect. I mean, Optic versus Rebellion, historically, Optic have won 12, Rebellion have won 1. All the times they've matched up so far in the HCS, but of course, different iterations of said teams. In recent times, we did see Slayer Livefire back in London, and it was a 50-49 in favor of Optic. So that's going to benefit them, but I think the series layout in general, the last 3 games really favor Rebellion. They haven't lost. CTF Aquarius, Opal Street, Slayer Solitude, they've yet to lose it so far this season.
Okay, well, what that tells me, Dan, is the fact that they need to get that done pretty early on, don't they, Optic? Because we don't want a Rebellion comeback for the Green Wall fans, but with that being said, and the map fly through, it is over to Shezzy and Gaskin.
It's brick by brick, it's step by step. Optic Gaming up against a familiar foe in Rebellion. Last time these two met, it was a 3-0 resounding victory. Shields up, weapons hot. It's Optic Gaming against Rebellion.
One thing I will know is the crowd are definitely going to be on Optic's side as always, but can Rebellion keep the Green Wall quiet? Now, Lucid trying to get his hands on that shock rifle, but it's a good position the Rebellion have found themselves in to try and stop him, and they do. At least that shock has not been able to stay in his hands, and he's not been able to reposition to find some shots.
Formal doing damage, but ultimately getting taken down. Cykul puts it in retreat, backs up. He's got teammates exactly where he needs them. Trying to stay alive. Not much camo left to play with here, you've got to feel. Lucid's gonna drop down, no shields. Deadzone wants to step out. Formal wants to step out. They're gonna try and throw a couple of grenades and hope it's one sticks. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Formal and Deadzone combined together in the lockers. They're meat and drink. Suppressed picks up a double kill.
60% win rate for Shopify Rebellion on this map and mode, but it's an 80% win rate for Optic Gaming. It does seem to favor them, and it is one of their better King of the Hill maps, but the early stages is Rebellion who have got scrappy enough to be scoring here in this first hill, but Optic finally shut them down, all 4 temporarily dead, and now it's going to be a chance for Optic to set up.
Lucid top elevator. Receives a little bit of damage. Suppressed is going to chase it. Maximum aggression from Suppressed. Ultimately gets cut down. Perhaps giving up an easy death. He's going to rotate towards tower. Cykul's going to get taken down to no shields. He's in big trouble. And the Season 1 MVP is in a hot pursuit. Locks in that kill. 2 down for Rebellion. 2 down for Optic Gaming. And Lucid looking to step forward towards tower. Go face to face with Suppressed, go one-on-one with Suppressed. Both of them pop each other's shields, neither one of them fall.
This one could be really frustrating for Rebellion because they were so close and Lucid had no right to get that kill, gets the reversal, and TriPPPeY is still in that hill, is still scoring, and now Rebellion desperately try and get there, but they're not going to be able to do what a turnaround that is from Optic Gaming to secure that first hill.
1 life is all it takes when you're talking about the best players in the game. Lucid turned the script on its head in that first hill, and he makes sure his team can get what they need, extract maximum value from the slays that he put down, and now they're looking to rotate towards the blue hill.
Deadzone has camouflage, and we know that he can be quite the sneaky beaver, but sadly will get spotted out. But he has allowed Baubles to get into a position to defend this hill, but that is better on the side of Rebellion. I think if you go into this series, you need to be not scared of who you're going up against. When we saw Rebellion back in London, it seemed like they had hit a wall once they got to Sunday. Like they thought, we've achieved what we set out to achieve, we've broken into the top 3, but if they want to go one step further, if they want to one day call themselves champions, they have to be confident in their own ability.
I've got to say, I've always wondered just how sneaky beavers really are. I think raccoons are a little bit more sneaky, if I'm being totally honest.
Take it up with Chris Puckett, that's all I'll say.
Me and Chris have a bone to pick with one another. 3 dead though. Rebellion have a bone to pick with Optic Gaming here, and particularly when it comes to this blue hill. Rebellion are in the same position they were in hill number 1. The chance and the question now is, can they see it out?
Looks like this one's going to be an easier one to hold on to. Optic not even going to try and challenge for it. They're going to set up for next. They were more than happy to give that one up. We mentioned Suppressed right at the start of this segment, and it's 11 kills for him already. He is already proving why he is such an important member of this Rebellion roster. On the flip side, Mental on our screens, only the 1 kill at the moment, a slow start, but that's okay, because he has been involved in enough gunfights, got some assists, and has been getting in the objective when he has the chance to do so.
Pushes forward, gets another kill. Lucid could fall victim to his bandit as well. Escapes for now. Formal over towards long hole, and indeed that glass pocket will pick up another kill. Camo's about to pop up. You can see the picture-in-picture. Great work for the observer, showing us exactly what way it's going to go and whose chest it's going to pop into. And it's Optic Gaming who have claimed the camouflage.
Optic will be able to grab it and put it to some work. It's going to be TriPPPeY who's going to be able to get the damage done with the camouflage as well. So now really you've got two options. You can either stay in the hill and just try and be avoiding damage, get as much time, or you can push out and be aggressive. But TriPPPeY opting to stay within this hill and ensure that Optic get as much time as possible whilst everyone else is taking space on the map here. It's going to be difficult for Shopify to stop this one from Optic Gaming, but the grenades are good and will take out TriPPPeY, so there is a chance for a push here.
Grenades suppressed. Doing enough damage to get TriPPPeY down to no shield. SoulSnipe was there to apply the finishing touches to get the kill. Formal stands strong in pipes, however. Cykul and SoulSnipe, now suppressed, also join them. They have information of exactly where Mental is positioned. They're going to have to give this one up as Optic Gaming look to secure their second hill.
Doesn't look like anyone from Rebellion can actually get there fast enough either, so it is going to be 2-1 to Optic Gaming in the early stages, which makes the crowd happy for good reason. And it's going to be a shock rifle, which could also make everyone happy if Formal starts hitting some headshots, but he's been heavily contested here, and it's not going to be easy to get out of this predicament.
Formal's going to chase Mental. A couple of shots of his bandit will do the job. Shock rifle's going to drop though. Cykul's going to pick it up. As far as he's concerned, it's reduce, reuse, recycle. Looking to pick that shock rifle up and put it to use. After he pried it from the hands of Formal. Pushes up towards back blue. TriPPPeY's down to no shield. TriPPPeY is no longer a problem. No longer an issue on the map, at least for the next 7 seconds or so. Lucid will drop down onto the bandit. Suppressed and Cykul will combine to take him down. This is what Rebellion need, but unfortunately now numbers start to fall. Optic Gaming are just relentless.
Fairly even across slays. It's a 38-34 advantage at the moment for Optic, but Rebellion keeping it close and competing in that department is very important as this series goes on, because otherwise you give Optic too much control, too much freedom to be in any position that they would like, and they can really dictate the pace of how the game is going to go. And actually that's going to happen more so here as all four down once more for Rebellion. So Optic not only can choose who they want to get in the hill here, but they can reposition to stop where Rebellion might be pushing from.
Yeah, I think good call from you. You can see players is positioned over towards gold. They made the rotation over towards A, have Rebellion, but they're going to need damage before they can push. And which way is it going to come? SoulSnipe is going to be the first point of contact for Lucid. Lucid taking a little bit more damage than perhaps he would like, but eventually gets the job done, gets rid of pesky SoulSnipe, and can now turn his attention elsewhere. This camouflage is playing a factor, and it is being an issue for Rebellion. Another kill locked in for Lucid, but two players of Rebellion have leaked through to the back blue, and perhaps that's exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, they want to be there for now, but if Lucid gets this kill, that's another player who was just caught unaware, not expecting Lucid to be in that position, and he is being a terror at the moment. A thorn in the side of Rebellion, eventually does get shut down, and good timing. All four dead for Optic. This is Rebellion's best opportunity to get back into this game now. Cykul needs to be communicating with the rest of the team where these spawns are happening, and either go for one of two approaches, get aggressive on them, or at least expect where they're going to come from, and that's going to open up the map for Optic.
Two players fall. That's not what you want to see for Rebellion. You can see they back out of things, and they give up the hill. They're instead going to try and prioritize holding blue and making this difficult for Optic Gaming to get into. Shroud screen goes down. That will make it difficult for Rebellion to find the targets. Lucid will dip out, dip away, and just prolong the fight here. Three members of Rebellion starting to do damage to him though. Unfortunately for him, three members of Optic Gaming go down. Deadzone's the final man standing for the green wall, but no longer is Cykul. Shocks off his face.
That's a big kill, because that will stagger the spawns now for Optic. Rebellion have the extra player for the remainder of this push, and again, another staggered spawn. Rebellion have a real opportunity of getting this hill and tying it up 2-2. They just need to be careful of any sort of flank down towards long haul. It looks like there is going to be progression over towards gold, but Cykul shuts that down immediately, and we're tied up 2-2. We've got a game on our hands.
Cykul's terrorizing Optic Gaming right now. They've got to keep tabs on him, as is Suppressed. He was highlighted before the series for good reason. 17, 10, and 13. That's what Rebellion need if they're going to stand a chance to win this series, trying to right the wrongs from London after getting clean swept. They were not an issue, they were not a concern for Optic Gaming before. They're hoping to be more so now.
Back-to-back-to-back kills for Cykul. Eventually does get shut down. It was good positioning from him and really did stop Optic from getting that previous hill. But now with it being bottom middle here, it's a very difficult one to try and hold. And there's going to be a lot of grenades thrown off of the spawn. So you really need to be aware of your positioning and where you're going to be watching here. As in the moment, Optic have got the most time, but Shopify Rebellion certainly are keeping them at arm's length. Only 1 minute 18 left on the clock, by the way, here, Sher. So a victory here in this hill could be enough to get you the game.
Who's going to risk it? Are they going to play for overtime instead? One way or another, we have to get a conclusion to this game. Formal's trying to get away. Unfortunately, he's been cut down, he's been chased. Lucid will answer back with a kill. Suppressed will trade that one out, though, so numbers now do favor Rebellion, making another one for Mental as he just falls victim to a grenade. They keep trading numbers back and forth. Nobody really able to control this game. Nobody really able to hold a setup, and that's why we're seeing scrappy time for both teams.
It's so tough to try and hold a setup in this bottom hill, because all it takes is one person to spawn at top A, get a grenade down towards you, and you're no shields and fighting someone with nothing but your bandit to work with. At least Optic are getting their toes wet in that hill. They're able to just slowly but surely pick up a little bit of time as they go. And that's the way to creep your way to a victory here, is just bit by bit get closer and closer to that third hill on your side.
The question is, where Optic Gaming going to be spawning here? Where can they influence the game? Lucid's rotated over towards Whirlpool, so he can get lines of sight if he chooses to go bottom elevator instead. He's going to go top A. Mental is putting down some damage, but most importantly, Lucid's getting shot from a different angle. Look to be suppressed over towards batteries. He's going to close the distance and try and apply the finishing touches, and does. Kills Lucid. The question is now, can Rebellion influence the spawns the way they like? Can they keep them over towards pipes to control this hill?
27 seconds left. It could be the last hill, and Cykul may be recognizing that. Does have camouflage, so he plays a big part in these final moments. Not only is he taking seconds, but he's going to be a difficult kill, but does go down. At least trades, as now Optic step into the hill. This is going to be a tough one for Rebellion off spawn. Is there anyone that can stop Deadzone? No. He survives, and he will hold this spawn over towards C.
This one's a nail biter, down to the wire. Final moments then, who's got the ice? Formal's going to fall, SoulSnipe's going to as well. Cykul's going to kill on the Lucid though. Numbers favor Rebellion, but the kills are coming one way as well. Lucid and Formal just coming off the respawn now any second, but it's SoulSnipe inside the hill with 18 seconds left on the clock. Do they have enough? Yes, they do! Rebellion take the lead here.
18 seconds remain then for Optic to try and rescue this game. We go back to the first hill, back over towards batteries. Now it's down to 13 seconds, and Shopify Rebellion doing their best to keep Optic away from this hill. They need to make sure no one steps in.
Now you're worried. Now you're concerned if you're the green wall. Suppressed has picked up a double kill. They're spawning over towards blue pipes. There's no time. This one's done. Rebellion win game one.
Well, for a team that couldn't even take a map off them back in London, it looks like Rebellion have learned from those mistakes. They've licked those wounds and they've made sure they've healed up already for Atlanta. And they are looking to put on a show for us as they get that first map under their belt against Optic Gaming here.
Well. We had a feeling this one was going to be tasty, and it's already starting to be a little more than an appetizer. Rebellion take that game one, and just for confidence alone, that could be the world of difference.
Well, especially considering Optic did have a lot of control at one point. They had that lead, but then it was that fourth hill to tie it up 2-2. A great amount of camouflage control from Rebellion as well to ensure that they stayed within that game. I think you speak about mentality, you speak about confidence. I think these guys know that Optic are there to be beaten, especially after seeing what Pure were able to do yesterday. It showed that Optic have those weaknesses that you can expose. They are not going to be unbeatable here. And I think knowing that they couldn't even take one map back in London, suddenly they're going to be feeling like, all right, we're here to play this time.
And I want to talk to you about what way the series seemed to favor. In game one, you spoke about how Optic's record was 5-1 on this map mode combination, but all of a sudden, we're looking at 5-2.
Yeah, 5-2, and the series layout gets better for Rebellion the further we get into it. As I mentioned, the last three maps, Rebellion have yet to lose so far this season. So that opens up this opportunity now of they're guaranteed to get to game 4 here. So they're definitely going to play 2 of those maps they've never lost. And they've already won 1. There's a potential here that we could get an upset. Shopify could send Optic down, but of course we know Optic have that resilience. We saw what they did against Pure. Even when it seems like their backs are against the wall, they still find a way to get through.
The two teams in that King of the Hill game separated by only 8 kills.
Only.
As we head towards the Slayer, does the impetus now fall on Rebellion to double their lead and possibly put this Optic Gaming to the sword once and for all.
Well, you have to remember how close it was in London. Slayer live fire, 50-49. I think that was what really took the wind out of Shopify Rebellion's sails, losing so closely in that manner. When you're already 1-0 down in a final like that, and then you lose that Slayer in such that manner where you are so close to tasting success, I think it chalks you off. I think you're done at that point, and it's so difficult to bring it back and rescue that third map.
Yeah, I think it's something we could definitely talk about. Their performances in London, particularly on that Saturday, they were formidable. But the question then remained, can they carry that heat, that fire into Sunday? And ultimately the question was answered. It was no. And perhaps we're seeing something a little bit different now. They've learned from the mistakes of the past. They now know they're a team that can make it to top 3, but they have ambitions of pushing even further and making it to that grand finals.
You will always lean towards Optic Gaming on live fire. It's just tradition at this point. But with how Suppressed just played in that game, I'm tempted to say Rebellion could actually disrupt a lot here. We can look at some of the Slayer stats across the season so far, in Atlanta, and it's a 4-0 record at the moment for Rebellion. They've yet to lose a Slayer so far in this tournament, whereas we have seen Optic already drop one. Of course, that was to Pure.
I think the questions are going to be asked, the answers are going to be coming our way. Looking at two men on your screen, Lucid, 1.45 KD, SoulSnipe on the other side with a 1.22. These two players could not be more important for their teams.
And Lucid has always been that guy you want on your team for a game type like Slayer live fire. Like, how many times have you seen him repulse up through bottom middle and suddenly he has a sniper rifle in his back pocket, he whips out, no-scopes someone, and then the rest of the team's able to get kills around him. Lucid needs to step up. We saw against Pure when Lucid wasn't playing well, the rest of the team kind of struggled around him as well. If he can be at the forefront of their damage and their kills, it is going to build the confidence with the rest of the team.
It's Optic Gaming, it's live fire, it's Halo Heritage. Such a strong map for them in Season 1. Season 2, it started to wane a little bit. Looking to get back to form, looking to right some wrongs and correct some of the issues that they may have had in the past. They want to make live fire home again, and this is the perfect place to do it.
I think it's good reason we start with Suppressed as well. I mentioned 27 kills in the previous game, and he's going to follow up with another kill right off the rip. It's going to be a lead for Shopify Rebellion. It's 2 players going down, but most importantly, Suppressed staying alive and ensuring that the sniper rifle goes into the hands of this man, Mental. We talk about the GOATs of the game, right? Formal, being able to win 2 championships across 2 esports. Well, can Mental one day ever find himself there? We'll have to see, but for now, it's all about trying to do some damage with his sniper rifle.
Mental story still yet to be written. Still a lot of pages and chapters to turn to. And how he would love to write a footnote here. Deadzone. Eyeing up a player getting taken down, but not before doing enough damage for Lucid to capitalize upon. It's a 1-kill game. Both teams still jostling for position here, trading back and forth. It remains a 1-kill, but now make it a 2-kill game.
I was wondering where the sniper rifle ended up. It's back with Mental, or still with Mental, I will say, and you can say he's trying to take more of an unorthodox position here to try and catch out a member of Optic Gaming, but as he gets spotted, that's when you reposition. But great communication from the Optic boys, spotting out the sniper rifle and calling where he's going to be going, just so they can pick him off as Lucid gets a double kill alongside the rest of the squad. And that's big to keep them ahead, 12-10.
And it's crazy, the information that came, you seen Formal jiggle peek, and he caught a glimpse of that sniper, and that was all he needed. 2 players flooded over across top middle. They get the kills they need. They get another double kill as 2 players tried to scramble out Rat Tunnel, but they were caught in the sewers, they were cut down, and all of a sudden Optic Gaming take the lead, and they're starting to hit some flow.
8 kills already, make it 9 for Lucid, and this is what we asked of him. This is what you want from one of your biggest slayers on the team, to be stepping up and getting those kills. Yes, no assists at the moment, but he is finishing off the damage that the rest of the team is doing, and if he keeps doing that for the rest of the game, he will keep them ahead of Shopify Rebellion.
It's what's asked of him, it's what's demanded of him. That is how crucial he is. The cog in the machine. This machine does not work without Lucid. 2 go down, Formal in Deadzone. TriPPPeY's gonna fall. He's gonna join his teammates. Now Lucid's in a world of hurt, pinched between a rock and a hard place. He also falls. All of a sudden, Rebellion flipped the script, and they now have control.
You can already see why this map mode was so close back in London. It's hard to separate the two at the moment. It's really a tug of war between who can get control, who can have any sort of map presence to try and get those kills off spawn, but 3 have gone down on the side of Optic Gaming, and this is going to be the first real chance for either team to take map control here and try and maybe create a gap.
A tell you something, if Halo and different map mode combinations are different genres of music, this game type right here, particularly with Optic and Rebellion playing against one another, this is heavy metal Halo, and Optic Gaming are down by 2.
Yeah, it's just very back and forth at the moment. It's very loud, it's very proud, and it's not slowing down anytime soon because it's quite staggered, the spawns on both of these teams, and everyone's just rushing to teammate, rushing to next teammate to try and help with kill after kill. You're not really getting a chance to breathe here, a chance to think if you're some of these players. Maybe this will be one of the first opportunities that there's a little bit of a standoff, and it's because of the sniper rifle in Deadzone's hand.
Let's go Optic chance. Start around the crowd. Will Optic respond? That's the question. Deadzone still has a sniper rifle, doesn't even need to fire a bullet. The grenade will do enough. Suppress is going to fall, tries to push, tries to get ahead of steam. He's cut down. The first pick will go the way of Optic Gaming. And now Deadzone can set up, plant his feet. Thinks the better of it though. He's getting pushed, he's getting pinched, he's getting hassled, he's getting harried. Sniper rifle falls. It's now in the hands of Suppressed, who just died moments ago.
Still a 3-kill lead though, and Suppressed can really push it even further here for Shopify Rebellion if he can find a position to work with. I think that's been one of the struggles for everyone so far this game, is no one's been able to get into one of the better positions with that snipe to make it count. Instead, it's kind of been using it as a shotgun at times and using it just as a close range weapon because it's constantly been over towards house.
Been used with a bit of a musket at times. Yep, Formal makes the cross the bridge unscathed. Perhaps he can make some inroads. And maybe a little bit of a rotation here. Rebellion come from bottom middle, 2 players. Provide some assistance, all 4 inside house. It's going to be a straight shootout here. They're going to trade back and forth, left and right. Jiggle peeking on pillars. Deadzone's in trouble. Gets one, almost gets a second, but Mental stays alive.
Jiggle peeking and pillars. We see a lot of it now in Halo Infinite. If you find a pillar, you can certainly work with it, and it can be your best friend if you play it right. Still a 3-kill lead for Shopify Rebellion. Make it 4 as we're starting to close in to the business end of this game. And of course, that means another power-up to potentially sway the tide in one favor for one of these squads. I'm sure that Shopify Rebellion would love to get it and extend this lead. Could be a big kill though. TriPPPeY shutting down SoulSnipe to deny him from going over towards that camera.
Let's take stock then. Currently 37-31. We're heading towards the end. We're heading towards the finish line. It's not been a marathon this Slayer. It's been a sprint. Can Rebellion close this one out? We've seen so often how teams get close to causing these upsets. I'm not even sure whether we can call it an upset. But one thing I'd love to do is listen to their communication, see what it's like inside the camp. Let's take a peek.
I got that one, Stuck him.
Alright, last guy was green. He's gonna look at you, Donnie. He's gonna look at you, I think.
This is one.
Yes, they're gonna spawn A. They're gonna spawn bigger in A.
Nice, Donnie. Live up.
They're gonna spawn bigger in A.
Snipe A, boys.
Let's wait for this site, boys. Alright, and one's in A.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Mike. They could hit our left. Yo, watch out, we could fuck those ones over.
Two in A.
Grab Sam. Yeah, just press hold on.
Billy, I'm not with you.
25, good damn, 25. I'm one. I'll bring his hand back for a little bit.
I'm trying to press guy big. There was a guy big as well.
Nice, Preston.
Looking at you.
I have your help, Preston. Video, dead. Pillars up, Formal. Pillars, Formal, one shot.
Alright, good control.
Deadzone just spawned.
I'll get a Billy.
Deadzone just
The belief is there. Rebellion can feel it. They are closing in on a 2-0 against Optic Gaming right now. An 8-kill lead going into the final moments. And Optic, as they flew out off spawn, there was just a member of Rebellion time and time again shooting them in the back. They are finding spots. They are finding nooks and crannies to hide away from Optic and then surprising them out of nowhere.
Check your nooks, check your crannies. Mental's got a sniper rifle. And he's not looking to hide in either one of them. He's looking to train his crosshairs somewhere a little bit more familiar. Formal, though, will shut that one down. But it's going to be so important that Optic Gaming do not give away too many more deaths. They've only got 3 to play with. They have to play a little bit more reserved, but TriPPPeY falls.
2 more kills for Shopify Rebellion to take a 2-0 lead, and they could be 2 kills right there in Garage Door. 49, it's against 43, and all they need is to find 1 extra kill to send them into what would be such an advantageous position.
1 kill remaining. Formal's got sniper rifle. Mental has got to play this one slow. Which way is it going to go? Which way will it push and pull? All of Optic Gaming have rotated out. They're gone towards house. They know they cannot give away another death. Lucid's got 1. Can they capitalize? No! Suppressed double their series lead, and they're 1 away from the winners finals.
What on earth is happening in this tournament? We saw FaZe knocked down to the elimination bracket just earlier. Optic taken to a Game 5 against Pure in pool play, and now Optic are going to have to reverse sweep again here if they want to find themselves in the winners final. Shopify Rebellion are looking like a different squad than we saw in Sunday in London. They are looking more like the squad we saw on Saturday in London, where they took down the likes of SSG.
The question is, for Optic Gaming, how much pressure is too much? How long before the dam breaks? You cannot keep putting yourself in positions where you have got to reverse sweep. At some point, you're going to have to lie in the bed that you made.
They just couldn't get going. There was no real opportunity for that sniper rifle to start popping off for Optic Gaming and give them that advantage. They were always on the back foot, and Rebellion took advantage of that. Rebellion started to lay those traps that I always so often speak of, putting a player behind box on sandbags, for example, waiting for Optic to make a play, and then say, welcome to the shots from my bandit. I'm going to do enough damage that if I don't clean you up, I know my teammates will. And sadly for Optic, they just didn't have an answer.
I mean, you were talking about how Rebellion were taking up those angles, and they always seem to have a gun in the back of Optic Gaming. That's how well they were playing. They were in sync. The flanks and the rotations were almost perfect.
They were, and I think that they used their pillars to their best ability as well. The pillars were the best friend. The amount of jiggle peeking we saw in that game from both of them, but it seemed to benefit Rebellion in so many of those gunfights. But it was when we jumped into that listening where it was the key moment of the game. Were Rebellion going to be able to continue the form that they had found so far, or would Optic break back into the game? Well, the listening showed the energy for Rebellion. You could hear the belief in their voices. They're starting to realize that there's another top 3 on the cards here, boys, and it's on the menu, and boy, do they want to take it.
I'd be interested to see at the end of the tournament just how many assists pillars on Livefire, pillars on different maps have. They could be in the running for getting some sort of a medal on a Sunday, I tell you, but I think you've hit the nail on the head with this team. There's a grand finals, a winners finals at the minimum up for grabs here if they can just close this one out. You spoke about how the series only gets better for Shopify Rebellion 3, 4, and 5. That's where we are, and they already have a two-game advantage.
We have yet to see Rebellion lose on CTF Aquarius, Oddball Streets, or Slayer Solitude. They are 3-0, 4-0, and 3-0. This series layout is the best opportunity they will ever have at beating Optic Gaming, and we may well see another giant leave into that elimination bracket. Suppressed, though, was one of the big reasons why they just won that game. We asked, can he have that same kind of success going from game 1 to game 2? He answered, yes, I damn well can.
You see those stats, ones across the board. He's pointing his finger towards the camera, but he should be pointing it up. He's been #1 across multiple categories. What a bright future that man has. CTF stats, Dan, anything jumping out at you?
Well, I think the big thing is Optic haven't lost CTF so far this tournament, but if you look at their CTF Aquarius statistics all year long, it's 3-2, so it isn't the best mapping mode for them, but at the same time, we had this conversation during pool play when we saw CTF Aquarius pop up. Are we going to get the Optic Gaming that have 5-0 teams on CTF Aquarius, or is it going to be the Optic Gaming that kind of limps out a little bit and loses that flag in the last moment and wishes they could have it back? Well, boy, are we going to need the 5-0 Optic Gaming. If they're going to get back into this series, if they are going to win this series, then they need to find and dig deep just as they did against Pure earlier on Friday.
And I'm always trying to garner some information, try and extract something from when you see the player cams. You see the camera rotating across faces. Do these players look a little bit downtrodden? Because they have a big game on their hands here, because they lose this one, they're in the elimination bracket. We've been calling it a safety net. It is not a safety net. It is a bloodbath down there, and you do not want to be down with the riffraff.
I think the answer of our question of where are Rebellion will finally be answered if we were to see a victory here. I mean, we talk about the big 3, Optic Gaming, SSG, FaZe, but for Shopify Rebellion, if they break into that top 3 twice in consecutive events, I think they are well and truly up there, and it's now a big 4. It's not a big 3 anymore. But then you've also got to look at what's happening in the rest of the tournament. Pure beating FaZe, for example. Are we entering a new era here in Halo Infinite? Are these players that have been for ages scraping at top 6, scraping to get into that top 4, finally starting to reach the dizzy heights that we knew they were capable of?
We got a little look at Deadzone, and he's on his screen. He was playing on recharge, and He's likely shooting bot stand to stay warm, but I would love for it to be that he's in a matchmaking game and he's holding up the series until he finishes it. He doesn't want to lose the CSR.
Here, lads, just let me get a quick victory under my belt to remember what it feels like, and then we can get into the next map and mode. Well, this is going to be a good one. I love Capture the Flag Aquarius, one of my favorites to watch in Halo Infinite, and with so much riding on it here, for two entirely different reasons. Shopify Rebellion to try and 3-0 Optic Gaming, something you very rarely see some of these teams able to achieve, and also getting back-to-back top threes here in the HCS. Or is it going to be the beginning of a comeback once more from Optic? They showed an incredible amount of resilience in pool play to do it against Pure. But when you compare Shopify Rebellion versus Pure, Shopify Rebellion have been there. They've done that. They know how to do this. And I think that we are on the verge of one of the biggest upsets we've seen so far, alongside Pure versus FaZe.
And what I'm thinking, Dan, is for Rebellion, this series, this result, could be the biggest ones of their career so far. Not because of the reward waiting for them in the winners finals, but because of the statement that it would make if they 3-0'd Optic Gaming here.
Yeah, it's very different to, getting to a winners bracket and it's a 3-2 and you do it just in that final moment. It's a demolition job to be able to 3-0 a team, and I think that these Shopify Rebellion players know that this opportunity is not going to come around very often, especially with how the series layout looks. If you go into this one knowing how good you are at CTF Aquarius, Oddball Street, Slayer Solitude, you're like, well, surely we've got one of these three, right? The chances and the stats, they are all on their side, but you also have to remember on the other side of that stage, it's Optic Gaming. And they are no easy feat to overturn, even if you have a 2-0 lead.
We heard Walchi and Clutch talking about it a couple of series ago, how when you find yourself in this position, when you're up by 2, you can be forgiven for thinking we just need one from the next 3. Walchi urged teams, he urged players to think about it's one game at a time, because if you think you have it in the bag, all of a sudden you find yourself in game 5 and it's a different narrative entirely.
It very much is. I think the benefit the Rebellion have here compared to the finals back in London is it's not a case of they've kind of reached that point where they were so desperately searching for. Now they want to go one step further. It's not a case of, oh, we've got top 3, that's job done, and maybe they weren't thinking about how to go further. I think now they've reached top 3, they know they can go further, as already off the rip. It's 4 dead for Optic Gaming, it's an overshield for Rebellion, and at the moment, it's all about the ascendancy of this squad.
Rebellion trying to prove London was no fluke. It wasn't because Space Station had jet lag. That wasn't it. It's because Rebellion are here and they're here to play. They're here to crush dreams, and they're trying to do it here to Optic Gaming with a clean sweep here on Aqua Flag.
3 dead again. Deadzone the last remaining player, but the flag did not move. That's what's important. Deadzone positioned himself to not allow. He said, you shall not pass. And sadly, Shopify Rebellion could not answer it. Yes, they will take down Deadzone now, but it was a great stop from Optic, because that could have easily been a 1-0 in favor of Shopify Rebellion.
Lucid goes down, killing spree for Suppressed. The man just keeps on killing. 5-0-1. First death came his way, but it's been 5 straight kills ever since then. Deadzone in the front base, he's going to fall. He took damage from elsewhere, but it doesn't matter. Suppressed's bandit shot was the final one that hit his face to take him down. He's got an opening, he's got a window, he's got control of the opposition engine here.
And he's being patient. This is exactly what we saw on Livefire as well. It's just waiting for Optic to walk round, taking advantage of it. He does get sniffed out. Maybe he hadn't sprayed his deodorant just yet today, and it will mean that Optic can just shut down that player and not allow any sneaky things to be happening.
Always apply your roll on, whether it's Hot Spice, whether it's Old Spice, whether it's New Spice. Stick it on,
What's Hot
make
Spice?
sure. Some sort of chili pepper, I'm guessing. It's not going to feel too great, but it might keep you from smelling too bad.
Maybe it means you won't get caught out in the engine room anyway. But Shopify Rebellion, despite the early success, they have not been able to get a flag to show for it, and now Optic are beginning to control the map a little bit, or at least they were. As you can see, Overshield's about to pop as we reach that 10-minute mark, but 2 have gone down, make it 3. This could be an Overshield for Shopify Rebellion, potentially. No, okay, Optic Gaming, last remaining play, does not pop it, and SoulSnipe will grab it instead.
SoulSnipe pops it, SoulSnipe locks it, he turns his attention to pushing forward. Formal looked a little bit dejected when he got a little window into his player cam there. Maybe a little bit frustrated that things are not going their way here. And Rebellion pushing forward, driving forward now with that overshield. And again, they've got control of the engine, but can they now get a flag pull? He's going to push up the back stairs. Trippy's going to throw down some denial grenades. Trippy doing massive damage to shut down the overshield player.
You have to win those engagements if you want your team to get back into this series, but it's another overshield going in favor of Rebellion, but another chance to get a flag, maybe just wandering past them there. We do see some teams that will purposely wait for that overshield because they feel it's their best chance of getting a flag on the board. And Suppressed will trade that one out, but Optic, they've yet to really have the control we're used to seeing on Aquarius for them.
There is a lot of Halo being played inside Optic Gaming's base, inside Optic Gaming's half of the map on Aqua here. And that could mean a little bit of trouble when flags start moving, and it's about one thing, Optic Gaming standing strong, making sure they keep defending, but Rebellion, will they get frustrated with the opportunities that are being handed to them that they can't capitalize on?
Optic are a very good team at defending, that we know, and that is evident, but will eventually Shopify's constant pressure begin to crack through Optic Gaming, or will we see a constant hammering over and over and over, and then suddenly the counter-attack comes through from Optic, and maybe they get a flag of their own? We are going to see another overshield in about 20 seconds, and maybe that's going to be the best chance for Rebellion to try attempt number 3 at getting a flag pull.
Optic Gaming love defending, Optic Gaming love a siege. It's whether Shopify Rebellion can act like an Urukai and get in there and breach the forces of Moria. We're about to see Gondor will be calling for aid very soon. Overshield's about to pop. I'm making Lord of the Rings references left, right, and center. I can't even keep up with myself.
I apologize, that's my fault. I made one Gandalf quote,
you did.
and suddenly all
You
those
opened the
open.
door- you opened the door.
We have to do all the Lord of the Rings
Frodo,
quotes.
Samwise Gamgee.
It's another overshield, but this time it's in favor of Optic Gaming. So Rebellion were patiently waiting, setting up, but Optic ripping that one away from them. Now it opens up the door for Optic to have a push, and their first chance at a flag with an overshield.
And this is what we're talking about. Can Optic Gaming be a little bit more clinical than Shopify Rebellion when they had the chances? Lucid gets a kill. SoulSnipe though shuts down one. TriPPPeY's also in the respawn screen. Cykul and SoulSnipe against Formal and Deadzone. Who's going to come out on top? Deadzone's going to fall, and that should mean this flag is dead in the water.
It's very rare I see Optic Gaming grabbing and pulling a flag whilst all 4 members of the other team are still alive. I think that tells you everything you need to know about how well Rebellion are playing right now. Optic probably don't even believe that they can get all 4 dead and then go for a flag. As I say that, all 4 dead were temporarily there, and now Optic Gaming can push on. But Rebellion are matching Optic in every single department right now.
Formal eyes up the shroom stairs. Takes care of one. His teammate takes care of a second one. He does enough damage to ensure Cykul's in big trouble. Suppress is going to chase one. TriPPPeY trying to get himself out of dodge with this flag. He's got pretty far as well. It's down in the front base, but it's in a bit of a precarious position.
This reminds me of an Onslaught game back in the day, honestly, with some of these flag pulls, just hoping you can get around that corner, get far enough that no one's going to be able to shoot you on spawn. But sadly, everyone has had their eyes trained on that flag every single time. The flag does get picked up yet again, so it's a second attempt from Lucid, but I'm not sure it's going to work out, because now that's going to open up the map here for Shopify Rebellion. 3 are dead for Optic. Rebellion regain control of this map, and now they can start to think about maybe pulling a flag of their own.
You almost feel like every time the flag is touched and they're trying around that corner, the little inner monologue between you, you're going, please, but every single time they get shut down. Overshield's popped up, Overshield's still there, ripe for the taking. Here it is. And it's going to be Lucid who steps forward, but Mental shuts it down.
Mental was watching, waiting like a hawk, hoping they could shut down, but no one is there to follow up from it. So that's maybe a misplay from Rebellion, or just the fact they were stuck on a couple of spawns. But it does mean Optic get another attempt to push into the base with that extra shield, which has almost already been depleted. Great use of grenades, but 3 go down for Rebellion, and this is Optic's chance to take the lead.
I love this from Lucid, or from Deadzone, excuse me, ignoring the player in the back base entirely. He's irrelevant if I can get this flag out of dodge, and he's done so successfully. Deadzone, one of the best running flags. Deadzone ensures Optic Gaming take the lead here in Game 3.
After being on our back foot for quite some time in this game, we are going to see Optic Gaming take that advantage, and as you mentioned, be a little bit more clinical with the overshield. Deadzone recognized there was players down, and he had the chance to get that flag across the map as quick as possible. And maybe there's a chance for another one here, but he does see the spawns, and it's good that he does back off slightly.
All of a sudden, it's Rebellion looking a little bit shaky, a bit weak at the knees. Currently, it's slaying power, Optic Gaming 58, and for Rebellion it's 46, outslayed by 12, 4 dead momentarily for Rebellion as well. Optic Gaming's onslaught continues, Optic Gaming's pressure continues to mount.
Kind of crazy that it's a 14 kill gap between these teams, considering Rebellion have been kind of pushing the base of Optic Gaming so often, but Optic have defended so well and been able to pick off one by one that Rebellion haven't been able to get that control, and now there's another chance at a flag here, because 3 are dead, make it 4. This should be a cap. It's a little bit of a fumble, but I don't think it's going to matter. We're looking at most likely a 2-0.
Not the quickest of flag runs, but it's going to be a successful one by the looks of things because Optic Gaming have ensured they've players in position to get kills. The green wall go up too.
What a response it is from Optic Gaming. They're not down and out just yet. And this is a statement to Shopify Rebellion of you are going to have to bury us yourselves. We're not going to go down without a fight. 4 minutes now remain for Rebellion, a team who hasn't lost CTF Aquarius so far this season. I want to see why. I want to see one of those overshields going back into their hands, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. As again, Optic Gaming shutting down members of Rebellion.
You can dig the graves, Rebellion, but you can't force Optic to jump in. Cycle's got the overshield, and he could be looking to get himself back in the game. Triple kill for him, driving forward, but they need flag captures and they need them quickly.
They need to be thinking about where are these spawns. Can they actually surround the Optic Gaming players? And it looks like they've shut down those who were alive. And I love this from Cykul. Turns around, gives that flag to someone else because he's got that extra shield still from the OS, and he can make a difference.
Looks like they're going to try and make a play for back-to-back flag caps. It's going to be risky. We'll see if it works out for them, Cotton. SoulSnipe punches in one, and Cykul was in enemy territory. He is no longer. He's been taken care of.
But now suddenly they have opened up the door for the chance of a comeback here, have Shopify Rebellion, and the chance to show us why they're so good at this mapping mode. SoulSnipe just trying to assist the rest of the team, but he does see teammates fall, which means this is a fight he has to win. If you do see in the kill feed 2 of your teammates go down, you cannot lose the next fight. You have to win it, otherwise you're at such a disadvantage.
Had to get a trade, did get a trade. Won the 1v1 he needed to ensure Optic Gaming had a much tougher task of pushing up the map and taking control. Deadzone's now got the heat wave in his back pocket and can use to employ it at any point. Suppress drops down on the car side, down to no shields. Deadzone banks a shot off the wall, it spins up and takes out a player. Mental answers back though, a flag has been touched, a flag has been pulled, but no progress has been made to speak of right now.
I'm not sure that flag's going anywhere at the moment, but I think it was just a distraction technique to try and retrain eyes elsewhere on the map. It's 2 big kills, and now the flag is going to move. It's Formal who's going to run this one over towards the car side, but he knows full well, with players dead on his team, he can't continue to do so. So has to refocus here, because Overshield's popping.
Playing patient, recognizes how important this overshield is going to be and has to make sure Rebellion are not the ones to slam it into their chest. The flag is still down in the engine. Suppressed is not aware of Formal's positioning. Cycles over towards the overshield, trying to stay alive. His shields are down. He's got to take the challenge. Cykul comes out on top, but which way is the overshield going to go? It's down. SoulSnipe's got it. It's in his chest.
This is the chance then for Shopify Rebellion. A couple of players did fall. Cykul was the first, but now SoulSnipe needs to work with the rest of the team to try and take a little bit of map presence with the extra shields they have available. And with Deadzone going down, now they would have had the extra player, but you saw the trades happening in the kill feed. Shopify Rebellion temporarily all 4 down, and Optic will defend against the OS and get a flagpole.
We talked about how good they are at defending. The overshield proved to be little issue or concern at all. Formal position top middle like a turret, waiting for enemies to come towards him. He dropped down, and he dropped down to his own death, his own demise. But has the flag made enough progress? The answer is no. It's cut off the pass. 4 dead for Optic. Rebellion have got to go.
55 seconds for Rebellion, and the flag is moving. The spawns are over towards Fridge, and they are making a move over towards Pink. Cykul has to try and kill one of these players on the cross. He does get the damage, does get the knowledge of where people are, but look at Optic surrounding everything and surrounding all these Rebellion players. The flag is not yet home, and it is going to be a last-ditch attempt from Optic, and they get the pull to delay Rebellion.
Cykul done so much damage, but nobody fell. That's important. Mental and Suppressed will fall. Flag is getting sent home. Formal sends it home. We're running out of time here. Rebellion have got to throw everything they have forward.
Last remaining player was Formal, and he sent it home. It might have just won the game here for Optic Gaming, if not for something of a moment of magic from a Rebellion player. But with SoulSnipe going down and Formal on the flag, surely it's too late. But 3 are dead, and anyone going to touch it? Yes, they will. Cykul gets the grab, but it's a great trade. But now 3 are down for Optic, and Rebellion can keep this one moving.
Mental's going to keep driving this one forward. He's made it all the way to the car side, receiving damage from the opposing Fridge, but it doesn't matter. He's going to get his shields back in time. Cykul provides cover fire, but will it be enough? A grenade spins up, takes his shields away. They're going to have to play this one patient. SoulSnipe gets Formal. Mental gets Trippy. Deadzone's going to kill, but it's not enough. We're all tied up, and we're going to run it back.
What a game we just witnessed between these two teams. Optic looked like they had it. 2-0 up, and then Rebellion showed why. They have yet to lose CTF Aquarius this season. And what does that do to the mentality of Optic Gaming? They gave everything in those initial 12 minutes, but now, as you say, we run it back, we start it again, 5 minutes on the clock, another fresh overshield, but Rebellion are 3 down. So it doesn't look like it's phased Optic, all 4 dead, and they're moving the flag. Rebellion need to hope they can get someone quickly to the other side of the map.
Optic getting icy, Rebellion getting dicey. The green wall restores some parity to this series. 2-1 now the score, and you know the seed that was planted is starting to grow. They could be on for a reverse sweep.
What on earth did we just see from Optic Gaming there, by the way? You talk about resilience, you talk about facing adversity. A team that just threw away a flag in the last second said, well, it doesn't really matter, we'll get a cap within 30 into overtime. And that one is going to hurt a little bit for Rebellion, but I think we have now seen the first piece of the puzzle of the Optic comeback. And Rebellion will be well aware of what could happen if they don't shut it down sooner rather than later.
And I want to talk to you about efficiency. We've seen how many times Rebellion got into the opposition base, how many times they seemed to have a numbers advantage, but Optic Gaming defending with all they had. But when it was, the roles were reversed, when it was flipped, Optic Gaming didn't need an invitation. They got the flag moving, and more often than not, despite any adversity or advantages they may have had, they got the flag captures when they needed them.
It was a 15 kill difference in the end between Optic and Rebellion in favor of Optic as well. I think they would have felt very hard done by had they lost that game, outslaying Rebellion in the way they did, but a lot of the kills they got was when they were sat back, kind of defending, just picking off Rebellion one by one, would try and move up the map, but then there was already Rebellion members there in their face, and they picked them off again. It took Optic a long time to actually gain any real map control and take that 2-0 lead.
Well, we never said it was going to be easy for Rebellion. It looked as though things were flying exactly the way they needed it to. We're heading very quickly into a game 4. It's going to be oddball on streets, but just to dissect the Aquarius CTF there, Dan, we talk about resilience, we talk about being clinical. Optic Gaming were that in the end game.
Well, Optic and Rebellion their first loss on CTF Aquarius so far this season, and Optic have shown us that this series is not over. They are not going to roll over and show their bellies. They are going to make Rebellion work for this one. If they're going to fall into the elimination bracket, it is going to be scraping, clawing at Rebellion. They are not going to fall lightly. I can't wait for how the rest of this series is going to go, because it looked like maybe when Rebellion were able to tie that one up 2-2, that Optic could get checked out. We've seen it so many times before where teams throw away a lead in the capture the flag game, but the starting strategy was pretty much perfect into overtime, making sure they could shut down the members immediately. Overshield was quickly grabbed, and then the flag was very efficiently scored.
What does it mean for the mentality, for the spirit in the Rebellion camp? Again, they came so close to tying that one up and then perhaps taking the lead. They got what they wanted. They tied the flag cap up. They sent it to overtime, but it was just how quickly and easily they were dispatched during that reset.
Well, Oddball Streets is where we head for map number 4. And I said, well, surely, Rebellion will get one of the 3, but we speak about that seed of doubt. I think that Rebellion will be thinking, come on, let's not allow Optic to do this again. Let's not allow them to do what they did against Pure on Friday. Instead, let's look at one of our better game types, Oddball Streets. But you also look on the other side, it's not like Oddball is a bad game type for Optic Gaming either. They're 12-1 in Oddball, but you know where that one loss is? It is on Oddball Streets, so that maybe does give Rebellion a little bit of a chance.
You say it's one of Rebellion's best game types. They're 8-1, and the issue is a little bit of bad news. Optic Gaming are also 12-1 on that. But how often do we see teams get to this position where they look as though they're going to put one of the big 3 to the sword, but ultimately, somehow, some way, the big guns fire back and fire themselves forward in these winner bracket finals, in these winner bracket semi-finals? The big teams always have the ice. Will the same story ring through here, or will Rebellion cause the upset?
You start to worry a little bit if it does go to a game 5 here for Rebellion. You feel like it has to be job done here in game 4. You can't allow Optic a chance at a game 5, because we know what Optic can do in those Slayers to pummel you into the ground and rip back that game and rip back that winner's final away from Shopify Rebellion.
And Rebellion have seen themselves in a situation similar to this before against Optic Gaming, We went to a live fire Slayer in a game 5, they lost it. They put themselves in a great position against FaZe, they went to a game 5 and they lost it. Is this now to be the time when they get to a game 4, a game 5, they can find the ice, they can find the resilience, or will it be the same old story of Optic Gaming coming out on top?
Camo for suppressed, and that's going to give him a lot of chance to get information here, and a nice perfect to shut down the player running upstairs. But it will mean that he can communicate to the rest of the squad that there's going to be a lot of players over towards Arcade and Tires. And it looks like there was also trouble over towards Pink, but at least he's dealt with that one.
There's trouble no matter which way you look, it would seem. Ball has made it in towards Tram. Mental rotating up towards the Bulldog. Shots over towards Deadzone. Sitting Tires. TriPPPeY's going to take some damage as well. Mental tries to spin that grenade up off the curb, to spin it into the visor of TriPPPeY, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so. But his teammates were there. Lucid's last man standing now. And they're going to keep on scoring. 34 seconds and climbing without reply, without rebuttal from Optic Gaming so far. The first push was quelled. Can the second one see a very similar fate? Bulldog's going to be whipped out the back pocket. Mental's going to fire it a couple of times, get himself a kill. Formal's going to answer back with a kill of his own. Cykul's going to keep on holding the ball, but he's ready to play it out the front base if he needs to.
Doesn't matter if it's a Nash or if it's a Bulldog, Mental always will find a way. And now, sadly though, does go down, and it means that it opens it up for Optic Gaming to push through, as Shopify Rebellion will lose 3 members. So that means it's an easy camouflage for Optic, and even though they're 40 points down, this is where they can get set up and try and get back into this game.
TriPPPeY's got camouflage. TriPPPeY's got Bulldog. Will he have the active reload to use against Mental here? He's getting tagged up. SoulSnipe spotting him out. These players, these monitors are crystal clear. You can't get anything past
He's
them.
shooting at someone else that accidentally tagged him. That was unbelievable. Lucid does get a double kill. 3 again are down for Rebellion. Mental, the last remaining player. At least he can stop temporarily the time for Optic Gaming. But if he does fall, he's going to leave the rest of the team in a 3 versus 4. But he doesn't fall. Gets the reversal. Massive kill from Mental.
Mental ensuring that what could have been wasn't too painful. Lucid jumps up, gets himself a kill, uses his elbow to the dome, gets himself on the scoreboard once more. Optic Gaming a little bit cautious, dropped the ball into bottom Tram. Deadzone fell, Formal also did too. TriPPPeY's going to hit the respawn screen as well. Numbers advantage now favor Rebellion. SoulSnipe's going to take this fight. SoulSnipe's going to bait and switch. Mental is there to get the kill. Beautiful teamwork out of Rebellion.
Lucid did do well though as the last player, getting a kill and delaying so that the teammates could step up the map a little bit, but Deadzone dying in bottom middle just allows more time to go in favor of Shopify Rebellion, and it's another one for Cykul, and it could be back-to-backs here. He's more than happy to do the damage. 3 dead again for Optic. They were on staggered spawns and they all pushed one by one. They are walking into the Rebellion trap right now.
Walking in and getting cut down. Deadzone's over towards Pink. They have that information. The ping has come. Cykul trying to get more information for his team. SoulSnipe's alone, down to no shields, on benches. Grenades do the job to take care of business. Suppress is also going to fall. This is an opportunity for Rebellion to either rotate the ball, throw it out, one way or another, get it out of danger.
But they're so close to already taking this first round. It's a lot to do for Optic Gaming. They need to get 60 points just to tie things up. Rebellion have done so well over towards Tram. If I'm Optic, I try and keep that ball over towards tower side, because it seems like Rebellion now are more comfortable at Tram.
Deadzone got the camouflage. The question is, did he get the burn? Cykul looked to have tracked his steps. Cykul fell as well. It's going to be interesting whether the information comes. The camouflage is still down. Has camouflage been burned? Formal doesn't have it, which makes me believe camouflage is now a non-factor. Formal and his team. Lucid has ball. Suppressed is a backstab. That's a concern. Suppress is behind enemy lines. He's out to get himself a kill. Mental has Formal down to no shields as well. They continue to trade damage, but the issue is it's 80 points to 27 here. Rebellion are the ones that can make all the plays.
They need to flush out these players fast, and they do so. They're able to take down Suppressed, who was just in the back of Tram, which will allow Optic to gain a little bit of control. And now some ball time to go alongside it. This is not a 1 round for Rebellion just yet. Optic have a real chance to set up here. All 4 members up. They've got arcade control, and they've got Tram control too.
Formal sits, Formal waits. Deadzone gets a kill. That's the opening pick. That's huge for the cause. SoulSnipe's going to fall as well. This is an opportunity for Optic Gaming to put even more points on the board. Pings are coming And you can see Formal, he knows that player's no shields, but he's not going to challenge. Heads up play from Mental to know exactly where Formal was and did not give him the opportunity to take him out of the equation.
They're all tied up on kills now. At one point, it was an 8-kill lead for Shopify Rebellion. They really were dominating this map. But again, it's Optic showing that resilience that we have seen so many times already this tournament. But it is more ball time here for Shopify Rebellion. Even though all 4 members of Optic were up, it was an extra 5 seconds that were gained. Could be big for them, but it is a break of setup from Optic Gaming. But can they get hold of that ball? Yes, they can. A chance now for them.
This is just it. It's the story of Optic Gaming. Even when Shopify Rebellion had gotten themselves to that 86-point threshold, you spoke words of warning. This thing is not over. This round is not won. And you can see exactly why. As Optic Gaming have clawed themselves right back into this round.
Suddenly Optic Gaming have more kills than Shopify Rebellion. Suddenly Optify have more control than Shopify Rebellion, and they are finding these wandering players, these stragglers that are left alive and shutting them down one by one. Just as Optic were falling like sardines earlier, now it's Shopify Rebellion who are doing the same, and Optic closing in on this round.
Closing very quickly as well. 10 seconds remaining. Metal's going to try and get close. TriPPPeY's going to drop the ball. A perfect shot into the back. SoulSnipe has got to try and delay and prolong his life. Cykul immediately gets cut down. This is looking good for Optic Gaming here. If Lucid can keep on doing damage, and of course he can. Optic Gaming have hands on ball. Mental can try, but it does not matter. Optic continue to score. Lucid's dropping bags. Round 1 goes to Optic Gaming.
You know it's not good when Lucid starts to drop bags. He means business, and they are looking to try and make a statement, trying to get in the heads of Shopify Rebellion. I would be terrified if I was on that Rebellion roster, because there is only certain times when Lucid begins to put that kind of body disrespect down, and that's when he knows he needs something a little bit extra from himself and the rest of the team.
They were bags, and they were not English breakfast tea bags. I can promise you that much. 2 go down for Rebellion. Perfect start for Optic Gaming, it would seem, as the ball started to move towards them. Unfortunately for them, TriPPPeY fell along the way, and that means any points that they have, any opportunity that they have, has now been quelled for the moment. Suppress is going to fall over towards the staircase, and that means Formal now with the camouflage, and he's now hand in hand with Deadzone. They can put some real inroads and some real distance between them and Rebellion.
Optic, who were once down by 8 kills, now up by 9. The kids would say they're in a flow state right now, and certainly seem to be showing Rebellion how to work this map to their advantage. Another camouflage on their side, and Formal will be able to get an initial kill, but sadly gives away his position.
You're talking about the kids, talking about flow state. I only ever really hear it from Active, but he's like 47 years old, so not entirely sure that that's the vernacular we should be using. But anyway, we're going to keep pushing forward, as is TriPPPeY up onto the staircase, gets a wingman medal. It's a lot of assists coming his way. 10 to be exact in this game, with 68 seconds of ball time and climbing. And all of a sudden, the Optic Gaming fans have started to find their voice once again.
Well, they've been given life. They've been given a reason to actually start to cheer now, because Optic Gaming are looking more like themselves. It's almost like Optic need to go 2-0 down to remember who they bloody are at this point, as now they find themselves with a 16-point advantage in this round. And again, they are looking on top of things when it comes to those slays. It's now a 14-kill slay advantage for them. Shopify Rebellion struggling to keep up, and that does not bode well. And the Game 5 is starting to lurk now, unless Rebellion can really turn things around.
Optic Gaming have definitely turned up the heat. TriPPPeY's got the ball, he's going to throw it out, maybe give up his life, gets a huge kill on the way out. He's ultimately going to fall. You knew it was coming his way, but you spoke about when you're down in numbers, getting that 1 kill can be massive.
And it was massive. It just meant that Optic were down on numbers, and Formal goes down unexpectedly. And there is going to be a camouflage available now for Rebellion. So if they needed something, a little bit of an oomph to get back into this one, this could have been it, but TriPPPeY shuts him down.
You know, SoulSnipe's feeling a little bit unfortunate, perhaps thought he got the 3 shots required to then provide the beatdown to get the kill, but one must have been wayward because the kill did not come his way. TriPPPeY with the battle rifle, you know it's going to be singing a brr brr song any second now. Formal is down towards the disruptor, down towards where the bulldog would be. Shots are going down. Formal perhaps has a commando in his hand. It's irrelevant right now, as a couple of kills have gone Rebellion's way. Make it 3, Deadzone last man standing. Issue is he's far and away from the ball.
Just updating your resume, HCS commentator, beatboxer as well. Good to see you've got plenty of skills. But Shopify Rebellion have now taken the lead. It looked like Optic were in control, but that one camouflage, that one switch of pace has allowed Rebellion to get a proper setup here. And Cykul, with the Bulldog, has an opportunity to shut down some members of Optic and continue, but it's going to be a heist. The ball taken, the ball stolen, and it's under Cykul's nose.
You have to keep tabs on that ball sometimes. Maybe put a baby monitor beside it so you can hear some things, hearing some noises going on, because you cannot allow Optic Gaming to rob it from right under your nose. And they've started to rotate. And Cykul's trying to chase Lucid here, but he has got to cover quite a lot of ground. Has the Bulldog in his hand. Somehow, some way, Lucid gets a trade.
That's just what Lucid does, and that's when Lucid's at his very best. He always manages to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Now Formal looking to try and shut down another member as well, but he says, well, if the ball's going to be here, even if I've got 2 members down, I'll just try and get some of that nitty-gritty time that could make the real difference as we get to the latter stages of this game.
Formal making himself such a difficult kill, prolonging so much time there. Mental's got the ball though. How many points can they register before the Optic Gaming push comes their way? 2 go down. This should mean a camouflage grab for Rebellion. Suppressed is starting to use that pillar as a dance partner once more.
Add it to the list.
3 go down.
It's another one on the tick list of assists from pillars. As Suppressed falls, but the rest of the team are up, and they are still in control of this ball. Optic Gaming on the back foot now. We're starting to see Rebellion catch up on Slays. They were down by 14, now they're only down by 4. And it's another camouflage for SoulSnipe. Last time, didn't get the beat down. This time, he has the team around him here to try and make a push.
Rebellion perhaps found their second win, and it's been needed, it's been called for. 71 seconds and climbing. They are not interested in going to a game 5. They want to do it here, they want to do it now. They want to tie up this oddball game, that's for damn sure. 2 down, Deadzone and Lucid. Mental continues to hold the ball, he continues to score. Optic have got to go now.
It felt like Game 5 was going to be on the horizon. It felt like Optic were just so close to clutching it up and sending us to Game 5, but now Rebellion have that opportunity to take us to round 3. But Mental's the last remaining player and will not be able to hold on to the ball, so it is not job done yet for Rebellion. Still one more chance for Optic Gaming to try and take us to a Game 5 in this round.
I was going to call for patience for Suppressed. Unfortunately, I couldn't say it to him quick enough before he died. Cykul now at the bottom of the stairs. Optic have ball. Cykul has just crept in, but Deadzone spots him out. Spotting the danger was Deadzone. The ball is down, nobody's scoring time right now. Rebellion only need that 3 seconds. The old cliche again. Perfect halo from here on out, or we will be all tied up.
Well, Optic reluctant to pick up the ball at the moment because they need the extra guns on the map to stop the push from Rebellion. And again, it's going to happen now because they are a player down, and you need to make sure the Rebellion do not touch this ball. But they do touch the ball, they grab it from underneath them, and they send us to a round 3 here in Streets Ball. So those teabags that came out a little bit earlier from Lucid, were they too soon? And will Rebellion make it through that day?
Perhaps we've seen some premature bags, because Game 5 is not a certainty, certainly not yet. We go again, round 3, nothing to separate them here. 1-1 in the oddball. Rebellion desperately trying to close out this series. 4 go down for Optic Gaming, the perfect start for Rebellion.
Personally, I like to let my tea steep a little longer before I take out the tea bag, but clearly Lucid was not happy with it. Maybe that's just inspired Rebellion even more, right? Sometimes when I'm in a game and someone teabags me, I play even better because it pisses me off. And I think the Rebellion, it looks like it's happening the same for them here.
Rebellion could be miffed. Lucid has a Bulldog, trying to rotate towards his team. Matter of fact, he thought the better of it, and rotated over towards the shotgun side. 2 members of Rebellion are positioned that side, they're making the rotate. Will it be a 2-2 split? A grenade comes out of absolutely nowhere and finds Lucid in a pocket of space. That space was quickly filled with frag grenades.
Closing in on being even Stevens on the kills once more. Optic up by 2 in the moment, 89 to 87. And Suppressed has just made it 90 to 89. So Rebellion, who were up by 8 at one point, then down by 8, and now find themselves all tied up. And it's going to be 3 dead for Optic Gaming, and a chance for Rebellion to set up over towards Tram, and Suppressed is starting to look good. 28 kills. I say starting to look good. He's looked good this entire series, but he is continuing to look good and continuing to be a thorn in the side of Optic Gaming.
The pendulum keeps on swinging, and the gods haven't dictated what way this one's going to go. Certainly not yet. Still time to change things, still time to be an influence. Lucid gets cut down. Mental and Cykul on the other side, they were also in the respawn screen, just watching their teammates trying to stop the push, watching their teammates trying to do damage. Suppress has got control of Tram. He is down to no shield. Formal continues to fire, and Cykul applies the finishing touches to get the kill. Camouflage about to pop up, and this one could be one of the biggest.
Suppressed in a good position and gets a big nade. 4 dead for Optic Gaming just as the camouflage is coming up. Ball resets, so they're easily able to grab it and maneuver it back to Tram once more. And it means Optic Gaming on the back foot off of spawn, and now they're being outslayed by Shopify Rebellion. Are we starting to see finally Optic accepting defeat here, or is there still anything left in the tank?
Have the wind shifted back in Rebellion's favor after a little wobble on Aqua Flag, and after the round 1 went Optic Gaming's way. 4 dead once more for Optic Gaming, and is the green wall starting to collapse?
I think so, and it's a worrying time for Optic Gaming. They need to make sure they find something here. They need to dig deep. This is where Lucid has to step up. This is where Deadzone has to step. This is where anyone from Optic Gaming needs to take this game by the scruff of the neck, but it's hard to do so when Mental's running around hitting shotgun shots like that.
Someone, anyone, everyone needs to step up for Optic Gaming here, but they continue to get put in the respawn screen. They continue to be faded to black and have to watch the game for 7 or so seconds every single time Rebellion apply the pressure. Again, Formal gets put in the ground, and again Lucid and Deadzone are in a position where they do not want to be. Kills go in their favor, and Rebellion are holding strong with 85 seconds of time. Optic Gaming are in trouble here. They're on the ropes, and they've got to go. All 4 dead, and Rebellion are closing in on victory. They just have to hold the ball. Cykul's keeping it safe as a baby, and Rebellion complete the upset. 3-1 the final score.
Some choice words from SoulSnipe as Optic Gaming gets sent into that elimination bracket. Was the teabag brought out a little bit too early, as now Optic are going to have to fight tooth and nail down in what is one of the craziest elimination brackets we have seen in quite some time. Rebellion do it again. It's another top 3. Last time it was SSG's head, this time it's Optic Gaming's. But can they have a better Championship Sunday? Most importantly though, they are back in Championship Sunday, and Shopify Rebellion have secured themselves, in my opinion, as one of the top teams in the HCS. Definitely.
Rebellion back once again into a winners finals, and importantly, they're on the winning side, so they can have the chance and the opportunity to right some wrongs from London. What a performance from them. And for Optic Gaming, Dan, they have got to bounce back in that shark pit, in that fox, wolf, hound, some sort of animals that might cause some sort of danger. All I can say is Optic Gaming have it all to do.
And you know where Optic Gaming headed to that elimination bracket?
I don't like the sound of that. I think
there's a team, or what they call FaZe Clan, are waiting for Optic for top 4 in the elimination bracket. That is not going to be fun for either team, to be honest, unless you're the team that wins it in the end. But wow, I mean, 2 massive upsets already this tournament. To see FaZe and Optic drop into the elimination bracket this early is unheard of, but we have to give props. Shopify Rebellion, it was not a fluke back in London. Atlanta seems to be home turf for them as well.